Accra Region Police is embarking on an edutainment drive to create awareness on kidnapping. 3 girls who went missing in Takoradi are yet to be found as family members and the general public continue to mount pressure on the police. The police says it launched an anti-kidnapping campaign in a bid to help combat what was becoming a trend, a drama featuring personnel of the Ghana Police Service at a summer camp organized by the Forum of Heads of Girls Senior High Schools at Accra in the Eastern Region. Some high school students from selected girls' schools were equipped with information on how to prevent kidnapping. Public Relations Officer at the Accra Region Police, DSP Efiatenge, said the drama is to help properly disseminate practical security tips on how to prevent the act. Maxwell Ababa has more in this report.
The drama begins with a character, Shut Up Baby, who met a stranger online known as the Don. Shut Up Baby, after exchanging numerous text messages and pictures with a new friend, agreed to meet him. The Don promised Shut Up Baby a well-paying job, trips outside Ghana, and more. On the agreed day of their meeting, the promises continued in the Don's car.
I am getting me my phone. I am getting you your iPhone, as you said. Take the drink. I don't feel of it. Taste it. Yeah, you know, freedom. Shut up. Freedom. Shut up. Shut up, baby. Freedom. Are you okay? Shut up, baby. Are you okay? Shut up. Freedom. Shut up.
The Don gave Shut Up Baby a drink which made her unconscious. When she regained consciousness, she was tied with a rope, unable to move. Her new friend, now kidnapper together with his accomplice, called her mother, demanding a ransom before she'll be released.
Hurry up. Are you sure there's someone else number? Are you sure, madam? Madam, I hope you're fine. Madam, relax, this no man's side. Madam, relax. I just called to tell you that your daughter, Mansa, is with me.
Shut Up Baby, unlike others, was lucky, as a team of police officers managed to rescue her. More than half of the people who played various roles in the drama were personnel drawn from the Accra Region Police Command. Yes, leader of the team, Public Relations Officer of the Accra Regional Police Command, DSP Efiatenge.
We're trying to create a security awareness among our generation of women. And what we have realized over the time is that most of us are not security conscious. So we are most times taken unawares. And we witnessed a particular trend in crime at the latter part of last year until even this year. And that was the kidnapping. Looking at how things unveiled, we thought that we should roll up a campaign to educate the general population. And as part of our campaign, the first phase was to educate our girl children. And so this campaign began in Accra. We have been to all the girls' schools in Accra. But one thing we decided to use was to change our communication strategy. We didn't want to use the usual presentation, the slides. Some of them, or even most of them, are boring. So we look at the language of the teenage girl. We look at what the teenage girl would gladly embrace. And we made sure that we dotted the security tips alongside the concepts, so that at the end of the day, we'll have them memorize everything that we have taught them.
Some students who were present during the stage play have been sharing the lessons they picked.
In this modern world, social media is really killing us, especially women. So we should be very careful
target of the senior high students, especially students on vacation. So as they are on vacation, for instance, we should be very vigilant.
Interesting. And we have Ifya Tenge on the line to join us in a discussion on this. Thank you very much for your time, madam. Now, I must say this is a very interesting way of putting across the message that young people ought to be quite vigilant and security conscious. How have the students reacted to this? What's their reaction? How did they take it?
Yes, thank you very much, Araba, and thank you for having me. Yes, we have realized that the students whom are our target audience have really enjoyed the way the concept went about. And their response has been very encouraging. One thing we identified was that a lot of them had problems with them, and these problems have been with them, and they don't even have somebody they can trust or confide in to be able to share the problems with. So when they see the connection, when they see the assurance from the police, they end up coming to you to share problems that are quite private and confidential. And by this, they are able to get the remedy. People also have a lot of experience. Some of them have gone through some of these unfortunate incidents, issues about abuse, sexual abuse and all that. But they have not been able to open up to share this information with people. And even talking about who is there to even listen to what I'm saying. And we have this people have this notion that when I come up to tell you something that has happened to me, definitely you're going to look at me in a certain bad light. So they have them with them. And we realized that when we had some of these education, they came up, people coming to you for some kind of counseling and the rest. And I think going forward, we may look at other ways of getting other people, other stakeholders involved or on board, where we can have some psychological counseling for people who have been abused in certain areas, and they may need some support, they may need some education in that light. And even the head teachers and headmistresses, everybody wants this to be taught in their various schools. We thought that per our jurisdiction we could do something in Accra and educate the girl child in Accra.
Right.
But it looks as if it's taking a different dimension altogether.
Right.
Okay.
You talked about, so this is meant to increase their security consciousness. But in the skit that we watched earlier, you saw that the lady was lured by money. And so how do you tackle that gullibility? Because that's also a major factor.
I didn't get that part. I didn't get that question well.
What I'm saying is that you're trying to raise the security consciousness of the girls.
Yes.
To be more vigilant. Yes, but I'm saying that in the play that was shown earlier, the young lady,
yes,
was lured
yes.
by money. She was lured by money, and that is a major factor. So how are you addressing that gullibility? It's a major factor in all of this.
Yes, we had to come up with a concept that usually puts our children in some state of vulnerability. Right. And in most times, you realize that people who see you as a target, criminal elements, may not readily get to you. They may have some luring strategies. They may have their own ways of getting to you. And we also know that most of us, in our youthful days, we are really enticed by some of these things. And these things are very dangerous. It takes you to a very slippery avenue that you may not even have an idea of. Before you realize somebody is take advantage of your vulnerability. So we use some of these things to tell them that in as much as we want to be the trending person of the day, it has its own consequences. These are the likely situations where you can unfortunately find yourself. So when you are even doing these things, watch out. So we practicalize them for them to know how it started with one of the main character in the concept and how it ended here. So these are the ways. And we know that some of us in school are not so content with whatever we are given. And so we find ourselves, we are so much enthused or enticed by some of these things that before we realize it lands us into a very unfortunate situation. So that is what we want to practicalize and let them know. But one thing I also want to say is that our parents, we have also seen that we are not paying so much attention to our children, be it a boy or a girl. We are caring so much. We are shifting from our various responsibilities. So we don't turn our eye on what the needful are. We are saying that parents should begin to look at these things. We should have open lines of communication with our children. Our children should be able to confide in us and tell us their problems. Otherwise, they may seek some solace and some friendship or people they see as people who are always there for them. And that is also very risky. So in as much as we are all trying to provide the necessities for the children and all that and the welfare and what have you, we should also try and take interest in the welfare of the children, their development. That is also key. Otherwise, we'll be chasing all that we think is necessary now, but at the end, we'll realize that we have not gotten anywhere. So we're also educating the parents as well. We have different concepts for all of these. The basic schools have their own concept that we put up that would be acceptable from by children of this age. And going forward, when we meet in the communities, we also educate them on what to do. So there's a lot that even we as police officers campaign have also learned that we continue to review, we continue to ask questions, and even use them outside. Right. So it's a campaign, and we hope to continue to review and reach out to as much people that we can.
Okay, a laudable campaign, I must say. But how many schools have you visited and who have benefited from this campaign?
Yes, for the high schools, we have been able to do all the girls' schools in Accra. We were in Accra Wesley High Girls, and we were also in Accra Girls' School. We were also in St. Mary's, and we have also been to a number of basic schools also in Accra, the Thought and Things, even and church programs where there are children activities. All the children are brought together for us to also educate them. Right. Then the climax was this particular one where heads of all girls' schools in Ghana were brought together at Ebri, that was yesterday, for us to meet them. And it's like their heads even want us to even bring them to their various schools. And as you know, we also have the green and the gold, and so the model, the schedules. So it's like we meet this group, and there are other plans to also meet the other group so that all of them can equally benefit. Okay. So we have been to all the girls' schools in Accra, and the second phase will be looking at the other mixed schools and what have you.
I see. And how long will this campaign run for?
Sorry? We expected to do this. It was a whole year campaign.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Ifya Tenge is a spokesperson for the Accra Region Police, bringing us details of that new strategy being deployed by police to combat kidnapping.